Now it is.
Okay, hi, my name's Alea, and today I'm going to show you how to make my version of chicken parmesan. So what I did is I went ahead and got some chicken. I don't use, can you point that in there? My husband's on the camera. I don't use chicken breasts. I use chicken thighs without the bone. It's cheaper and they stay juicier than the chicken breasts. So I went ahead and seasoned it with some garlic chicken. I meant to say garlic, garlic salt, and Italian seasoning and some pepper. And I'm gonna let that sit for now. This is the breadcrumbs that we're gonna dip it in after we dip it in the eggs. I toasted 2 pieces of toast, put like 4 handfuls of flour, some Italian seasoning, some garlic salt, and some pepper, the same thing that we have on the chicken. And I kind of just worked it in with my hands and mixed it all up. So first, before you start your chicken, you want to boil your water for your noodles. And you go ahead and get that out of the way because you're going to saute them. Saute the noodles and some other stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and crack the eggs into the bowl. Wash my hands. Before I start mixing up the eggs, I'm just going to go ahead and add I'm using fettuccine noodles. I like them because they're thicker. They hold sauce better. And I'm just going to go ahead and put in my pot. I don't break them because I like them long and shrinky. It's part of eating noodles, I guess. I put a little bit of vegetable oil inside of the pot so that the noodles won't stick together. And now I'm going to add some salt. Where's my salt? Just for taste. And I'm going to let those boil. Push them down a little bit. Okay. So, I have my eggs. You know, show it in there. I'm just going to whisk my eggs together. Get them nice and sexy. And I'm actually going to put gloves on for this part because I don't want to catch salmonella. Hey, look, gloves. Hospital gloves. Good shit. So, I whisk my eggs. Get them nice and... Sometimes you can put milk in it, depending on how creamy you want your chicken to come out, but I'm not going to put milk in it because it's going to make the eggs really, really fluffy, and I don't want that. Throw that in my sink. So, first things first, I am going to take... Can you see the thing? I'm going to take my seasoned chicken. It was like this to begin with, but I cut it to open it up. So, I'm going to dip it in my eggs first. And then I'm going to put it in the breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs, a little bit of flour, and some seasonings. It's okay if you make a mess. Kind of just coat every single one of them. Real nice. It smells really good. Does it smell good? Can you smell like the basil and stuff? So that's what it should pretty much look like. Just gonna put that on my plate and dip this. Uh-oh. starts to get sticky because there's flour in it, don't worry, because when you fry it, it's not going to be as sticky. Dip it in the eggs. Breadcrumbs. This is going to be your piece. I just made enough crumbs. Hey, what the heck? There's like pieces falling. That's fine. You fry those up too. Give it to the dogs. They like that. So, I only have a little bit of crumbs and stuff in here. So, I'm just going to add the last little bit of... And if you want to make more, you can make more, but it really doesn't matter. Because it's going to be some sauce on it. There's going to be sauce on it. And all kinds of other good stuff. So this one's not going to be as coated as the other ones because I didn't make enough. Be sure that you make enough breadcrumbs. That's alright because it's still going to be yummy. Okay, so there is my... This is what it's going to look like with the breadcrumbs on it. And I'm going to go ahead and clean it with this. So, what I already did was cut up some onions, bell pepper, and tomatoes for the sauce. And I put some garlic in my pilau. We're going to need a lot of garlic today. Make sure you stir the noodles. They're boiling real good. Really, really, really good. So now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and fry my chicken. You want to come on this side? You can come on. It's clean. So I'm going to put some oil in my pan. Let that heat up. Get some thongs. And we're going to start the process of hey. So before I do that, I'm just going to show you how I make my sauce. So in a pan, probably going to put it on the back burner. In a pan, you want to add some bay leaves. I'm just going to use 2. That's really all you need. And some onions. And the bell pepper. And all these tomatoes. And I'm going to save this. No, I'm not. I'm going to save this for later. Actually, no, I'm not. I like my sauce nice and thick. So from there, I'm going to put some butter on it and go ahead and start to saute. Be sure to stir the noodles so they don't get stuck together. Good cheap butter. I'm cooking on a budget here. So I just go ahead and I really don't measure anything. I like to eyeball stuff. When you start cooking more and more every day, you really can just eyeball stuff. So My oil's getting hot. Don't ever do that at home. I do that because I know what I'm doing. Because it's going to pop in your face if it's really hot and you do not want that to happen. It's probably what it's going to do. Okay, I'm going to put my fan on. Okay, I'm gonna get a cover. Excuse me. You don't have to put it in here. I don't know if this fits or not, but who cares? Okay, it fits. So now I am going to get my fingers out enough. Kind of wait for a minute so everything can cook. Start to cook rationally. Make sure that butter is melting in your sauteed vegetables, and then once they're all nice and soft, I'm gonna add the sauce to it. Okay, so here's how I'm gonna lay my chicken. I'm just gonna go ahead and do 2 at a time and cover it. Some of the breadcrumbs and stuff is going to fall off, but that's okay because we're going to put sauce on it. And for my sauce, I'm using just a regular Hunt's. It was $1. And once your, that smells really good. Once your onions, bell peppers, and tomatoes are starting to cook, you're going to add a little bit of garlic. You don't want to overcook garlic because it turns green. It's really nasty. Well, it doesn't really differ the taste. I just don't like the way it looks. So those are starting to heat up really good. Okay, now I'm going to start my mozzarella bread bites. And these are super easy, but before I do that, I'm going to stir my noodles. Stir. You don't have to cook them all the way because they'll saute them. So what I do, I steal one noodle, and if it sticks to the wall, it's not done. I think that's how you say it. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm going to go ahead and strain these. It's hot, so be careful. It's really hot, so be careful. Nice and strained. Scrape the ones that are on the bottom. If there's some on the bottom. And I'm going to set this over. You don't have to film the dirty dishes, man. So, what I like to do is kind of shock them and put cold water on them. And then, so they get cooled down. Even though we're going to put them back. So, I'm going to keep that back there. And then now I'm going to start kind of like the sauce for my noodles, or just the noodles in general. Here's some olive oil, extra virgin, that I need to buy some more of. And I'm going to use some garlic. And I'm going to saute the noodles. And this is how I'm going to saute it. Garlic in there. I love garlic. It's really good. So, let that start to fry up. You really don't have to let it, and this is just regular spinach that I froze. I don't know why I freeze it. There's really, I don't know. I'm going to add that to there. Can you see it? So I'm going to let that get nice and sexy. Kind of let them get a little fluffy. Now I'm going to check my chicken. Looking pretty good, so I'm just going to go ahead and flip it. Can you see? That's how it should look, nice and golden brown. You don't want to stir it a lot of times because then all the breadcrumbs are going to fall off. So, my vegetables are getting nice and sexy over here. You want to see them up close. I have the bay leaves in there. Haven't added any seasonings yet because I haven't added the sauce yet. So, let this cook. It smells really good with the garlic, and kind of spread it out so it can get all nice and shriveled up. And okay, so now I'm going to get a plate, another plate to put my chicken on. That's good. Get some paper towels so all the grease. Put that on the back burner. Make sure you stay organized. If you're not organized, then you'll get all messed up. Stir your noodles every once in a while, even though they're in here. You don't want them to stick together. But I did shock them with some cold water because they're too hot to handle. And I don't like them when they're too hot to handle. Okay, so these are going to be my mozzarella bread bites. These were $2 for $1 at Save-A-Lot. 10 biscuits. What you're going to do is open these, flatten them out, put some mozzarella and some garlic salt in the middle, and roll them up and cook them. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Just 1 second. Okay, so my garlic and my spinach is looking really good in here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is add my noodles. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because when you pull it out and you plate it, you can really give yourself as much garlic as you want to and as much spinach as you want to. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this from here and just add it. Let that finish sauteing. When you're making chicken Parmesan, the noodles aren't supposed to have the sauce. It's the chicken that are supposed to have the sauce, and the noodles are just supposed to be flavored, and then you combine them together on your plate. So I got the spinach mostly combined with the noodles. And from here, I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. And then some seasonings. I'm going to add some Italian seasoning. And I'm going to add some garlic salt. I'm going to stir that. Is the battery going to die on it soon? Oh, that looks good. So, you want to get it closer. So when all the seasonings and everything inside of it comes in, it looks really pretty. So I'm going to take this, turn that off, and set this aside. That's the lid. Now, these are all good and sauteed, and they're nice and soft. So what I'm going to do now is add my seasoning. I meant my tomato sauce. I'm going to put a little water in it. Just a little bit. And then stir the onions and bell peppers in there. Turn this back on medium. I'm going to let that cook. Can't get me a lid. I'm going to let that cook and get nice and sexy. So now what I'm going to do is check my chicken. Then they're frying. They're really good. Thank you. Ow. Don't do that at home. Looking really good. So I'm just going to take these pieces and put them on the paper towel to get all that oil off of it. And I'm going to take these last few pieces. It's okay if they break up because it's alright. Uh-oh. We're stuck. And my last piece can fit in there. Fry that up. This goes on the dirty side. This is going to go to the dogs. And now I'm going to pick up my mess. So when you're cooking chicken Parmesan, you want to eat it. It's not really something that you can heat up again. I rather not heat it up. I rather just eat it the first time and that's it. So from there, while I have these two that are really good. This is just some regular Parmesan cheese. Chicken Parmesan for a reason, I guess. And I'm going to put it on top. And then I'm going to put these in the oven. Not too hot so the paper towel doesn't burn. But yes, get this one in the oven. Scoot it over so you have room for the other ones. This is going to melt on top. It's going to be nice and sexy. Okay, so now to my bread knife. You don't have to film it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this. Lay it out on the table. A clean table, of course. Open my cheese. Mozzarella, nice good mozzarella cheese. And I'm gonna flatten these out with my hand. Take the cheese and add it in there and fold it over like so. Very, 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 very easy. Like that. Put as much as there as you want. Hey, shut up! My birds are hungry too. They say, we want some mozzarella bread bites. It's gonna get nice and sexy in there. I'll do one more. Hey, be careful. And then you could just use the sauce that you're making as sort of marinara. You know, it's not classic marinara, but you'll be alright. So, from here, what I'm going to do is take my butter stick, the easy way. Put some butter on top. Take some Italian seasoning. Sprinkle that on top. And some garlic salt. We're using a lot of garlic salt today. I want everything to taste that nice Italian garlicky. And that's how you do it. The other ones to be considered. So, that's really good. Check your sauce. Should be simmering nice and good. And when it heats up, I like to add all my seasonings. So from here, I'm going to add lots of Italian seasoning. I like it with the Italian seasoning in it. Garlic salt. Complete seasoning. And some sugar. When you put sugar in it, it kind of neutralizes the acidic taste of the tomatoes. I don't like it to hit my teeth and it be all acidic. I like it to have flavor and not be so strong. So what you're going to do is just mix that up and let it continue to cook so it gets thick. And that's perfect. Check your chicken. Looking good. Had some little pieces that kind of broke off, but that's fine. They're extremely edible. Flip them. Don't do that at home. It hurts. But that's the price you have to pay when you're cooking. Flip these. Flip this one. You see how this one, don't use this one as an example. This one's nice and golden brown, like the last ones that we did. Leave them over there. So back to my bread bites. Gonna go ahead and finish these up so I can put them in the oven. And before you finish all of them, what you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 so that when you put them in the oven, the oven's already hot. So that's what I'm going to do now. You alright? Take the cheese. Want some cheese? Doggies want some cheese. Ow! Okay. Fold it over. Do you want to give him some cheese? He's too short to go. There you go. Give my chihuahua some cheese. I don't know if you can hear the chicken getting all nice and sexy in the background. These are very repetitive. Same thing over and over and over again. Fold them. Try to make sure they're cold. Don't set them out and try to like deep thaw them because they'll be too soft and you won't be able to really work with them easy. That's why I'm trying to hurry up. The cheese doesn't have to be in there any perfect way. It's not a restaurant. Okay, last two. They don't have to be perfect. They'll bake around the cheese and form a shape that the cheese is inside of it. So this is my last one. I did 10 altogether. There you go. They're going to be really good. So, like I did with the ones before, I'm going to add some butter to the top of them. And then add my Italian seasoning on top of them as well. And bake those until they're a nice golden brown. I mean, nice and yummy with the rest of the stuff. So, I'm pretty much done after that. Make sure that when you take the rest of your chicken out, you put cheese on it right away. Try to put cheese on it right away so the cheese starts to melt, and then you can put it in the oven for the rest of the way. So the cheese melts the rest of the way. So that's pretty much it. And then you plate it. You put the chicken on top of the noodles. Put some sauce on top of the noodles. And put some more Parmesan cheese on it. And you're good to go. Put it on my face. Okay. My name is Leah Abbott. Thank you for watching my video. I hope that it inspired you to make some quick and easy chicken Parmesan.